Up, what up? Lock in, everyone. All right, why are the Falcons favored? We'll talk about that in a second. I'm just letting people know that we're live. Um, okay. Hey, lock in. Why are the Falcons favored in this game? I mean, first of all, they're 1.5 point favorites, so it's nothing crazy with that, right? Um, the Falcons are an interesting team, right? Because it's a brand new quarterback, and it's not just a brand new quarterback to the team. It's a brand new quarterback that is recovering from an injury. So the growth week over week that's expected for Cousins and for the Falcons is pretty significant. So that's going to be weighted into this line as well. Also, the Falcons are home. That's a 1.5 point difference right there. So basically, what Vegas is telling us is that if this game was played at a neutral site, that this would be a pick 'em. I mean, it damn near is. VIP ever go on sale? Didn't know Subit subscription wasn't all the picks before. Yeah, it goes on sale, but at the end of the day, like honestly, I'm putting enough plays on there that I say this again. My SoBet costs $10. It's $20 for the VIP. My SoBet is one of two things. You're either making money off it or you're losing money, and we consistently make money. So that's the only question, right? It's a low enough price that anyone, no matter how small your unit size is, no matter what, if you the picks are winning, then it's worth it. You're making way more than you're spending on the service, even if you're only doing like $5 units. If you lose, it doesn't matter if it's free; it's not worth it. So the only question mark is, do you like the picks? Do you like the research? Do you think we're going to win? And the proven track record is, yes, we are going to win. Obviously, nothing's guaranteed, but that's what we've done. That's what we're going to continue to do. And I'm going to continue to put in more time and research and effort into bringing the best plays possible. NBA playoffs or NBA regular season's coming shortly, which means NBA props. That's a huge source for us. I'm really excited about that. Bijan injured says easy. Yeah. I'm going to look into that a little bit more. The word on that. I know Algier's been getting more touches in general. But anyway, in terms of that, exactly, Orient. So really, what it comes down to, it's SoBet. And the only question people need to ask, like, if you would ride the free plays, then you should pay the $10 a month to be on SoBet because it's what are you making off the plays, right? We're talking 3 plays a day minimum for 30 days. We're talking 90 plays. We're talking about 11 cents a play maximum. That's my spiel. That's the deal. If you want to get on SoBet, that's where all the plays go up. We'll have stuff dropping for MLB and NFL tonight. We'll have NBA coming in the next 2 weeks. We're going to have college football up. So we got plays up every single day, all sports, maybe some hockey coming as well, the occasional whatever. And the other thing is, if you're on SoBet, you get access to the full feed. That means people capping all sorts of sports, stuff that I don't do, golf, hockey, UFC, etc. That's the deal. No, I know what you're saying, Jason, but the same thing applies, right? Because it's more plays. All right, so let's lock in. So in terms of the Falcons game today, I'll have a video coming out a little bit later that where I get into that a little bit deeper here on the Instagram and on Twitter, on YouTube as well. I'll share it in the Telegram. If you're in the Telegram, I drop free plays daily in the Telegram. I drop other information, some free bet stuff, some bonuses, etc. So definitely hop in the free Telegram, get involved. I also let people know everything I'm doing in there if I'm going live, whatever. What up, Jeffy? How you doing? Um, so that's something to keep an eye out for. That's something to keep an eye out for. You should definitely be doing that. Yeah, get involved, baby. All right, so looking at the slate today, in terms of the Falcons game, I'll get into this a little bit more right now. Yeah, the Bucks have been kind of all over the place. It's hard to evaluate a team that has beaten the Lions and has lost to the Broncos. But as we get more information week over week, yes, sir, Tristan, we get more information week over week. All right, the way that we evaluated the Broncos 2 weeks ago is probably different than how we would now after their win against the Jets. Also, the way we evaluate the Jets is a little bit different now. So, not that football's like transferable. If you beat this team and that team beat that team, then you should beat that team. It's obviously not as simple as that. There's a lot of stuff that goes into matchups. But each week we're getting more information, and all that information informs other information, and it builds on top of each other. So, if your assumptions are incorrect on a base level, it's going to lead to a ton of bad reads. If your assumptions are on point on a base level, it's going to lead to a ton of good reads. So that's why research is so important. That's why understanding how to analyze teams, how to analyze matchups, how to understand game flow and game script is so important, especially when it comes to NFL props. So a quick shot, our NFL props, by the way. We've had 4 straight winning days of NFL props. Monday night, Sunday, the prior Thursday, the prior Monday. 4 straight NFL prop slates that we've smacked. Our VIP is 16-7 on the last few days, up over 12 units. Up over 12 units in that period of time. Hit a massive play on Tuesday. Another huge play yesterday. We got some bangers coming. Definitely get involved. Check it out. Hop on the SoBet, hop in the VIP, and hop in the Telegram for the free action as well. So, do your thing. All right. Anyway, all that to say, in terms of the Falcons, we have a lot of question marks about the Falcons because they're a team that has only come together recently. You got a new quarterback. You got Kirk Cousins getting used to the offense and getting healthier every single week. And the Bucks, we have a lot of question marks, a lot of inconsistency. When that comes, a lot of people would be like, all right, let's favor the dog. I personally like Falcons in this spot. I'll have a video going up that gets into it deeper. I talk about this more. But I think the Falcons are an undervalued team because the week-to-week growth is not being accounted for. The Bucks are a different story. You look at the Bucks matchup history, it's pretty all over the place, right? I'm just going to refresh right here looking at the Bucks schedule. So let's look at what the Bucks have done so far this season. They beat the Commanders in week 1, 37-20. That was Jaden Daniels' first game. That was Jaden Daniels' first game. He's looked pretty good since then, but that was his first one. Okay, them putting up 37 points after we've seen more of this Commanders defense is not as impressive. All right, then we go Bucks against Lions, 20-16, a strong game. Baker looked okay in that game. Definitely a massive drop off in his output in that spot. The Lions have a better defense than I think people credited them for, expected from them this year, aside from me, who took Aiden Hutchinson to be Defensive Player of the Year at plus 1075, whatever. We'll talk about the under in a second. Then they go and get smacked by the Broncos. Gross game. Broncos have proven they have a real defense, though. Coming up soon, Mick. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. Jake Arella, I think I'm solid on Instagram, to be honest. People are commenting. No one said I'm muted yet, so it's probably you. And then they go beat the Eagles, and the Eagles are also a massive question mark and a team that really hasn't performed yet this season. So they're all over the place, and a lot of people are saying that. I'm pretty sure he has the most bad balls, 9 intercepted. Yeah, Baker hasn't looked great. I think the Falcons' defense is pretty solid. I know they put up a pretty decent performance against the Chiefs. The Chiefs' offense hasn't really clicked yet. So that's what's going on. JC, it's not muted. You think I'm just talking to no one this whole time? Any QB without no lines, no good. That's a fact. Broncos do. So I think the Falcons get to him. I think that defense is undervalued right now. I think that could be a pretty strong spot for them. And then I think the Falcons offense should be getting better. The Bucks defense, think about them. They gave up 26 to the Broncos. That's kind of crazy. They gave up 16 to the Eagles. The Eagles are all over the place. 16 to the Lions. That's definitely the most impressive performance. 20 to the Commanders. Since it was Jaden Daniels' first start, we'll call that defensive performance like a B+. If they give up 20 to the Commanders right now after the Commanders' last 3 games, different story. So that's the Bucks. Now let's talk about the Falcons, what they've done this season, right? The Falcons, they got the Panthers next week. Good for them. So the Falcons this season come out and they lose to the Steelers, right? They put up 10 against the Steelers. We know the Steelers is probably the best defense in the NFL right now. Falcons over probably. We'll talk about the over-under here in a second. Then they go and they barely beat out the Eagles. They barely lose to the Chiefs, and they barely beat the Saints. Not bad. I mean, they could be 3-1. They could be 0-4 theoretically. They should have beaten the Chiefs. I think that defensive pass interference is trash. The barely beating the Eagles is not very impressive. The way that game went down was crazy. So I'm not seeing, and I don't think the Saints are great at it. So I'm not seeing anything from the Falcons where I'm like, oh, this is really, really incredible. But it's a short week. Less time to prepare. I think the Falcons are a more talented roster. I think they're a worse coached team. But with 4 weeks to prepare, I think that favors the worst coaching team, right? Less preparation. Preparation favors the better coaching team. I like the Falcons in the spot. -1.5 or money line doesn't really matter too much. They've had a couple really close games. I know that doesn't really mean they're going to have another close game, but I don't see it being a blowout just in the way these teams match up. So I might pay the money line. That's TBD. But we're going to be on the Falcons today. Now, let's talk about the over-under as well. That's 43.5. That's a tough number, right? It's a tough number. The over's a little bit juiced. I'm looking at Caesars right now. The over's a little bit juiced at minus 115, minus 105 on the under. But my initial lean is the under. I know it's Thursdays. I know Thursday unders have been hitting. I don't give too much consideration to that. But the under. Neither team moves the ball that quickly. Neither team moves the ball that quickly. I know the Bucks and Baker, they like to take shots. Sometimes you have the potential for a deep ball, quick score with the Bucks. There's something to that. Coach is just about everything. Coaching's a big deal. Yeah, I'm not for certain. No way around that. But yeah, you have the deep ball threat, the quick score. That's something. I know the Falcons' offense is a little bit stifled without Bijan. Not that he's really put up great numbers for them so far, though. I'm leaning under. I don't know if we're going to play this over under. I'll have to do more research. I'm just on an initial glance, initial read. I'm leaning the under. Um, yeah, it's just neither team moves the ball that quickly. I think we're going to have fewer possessions than you expect. I think the Falcons defense is coming along. I think the Bucks defense is kind of all over the place, but the Falcons aren't moving the ball with tempo, with speed, right? You haven't seen that in the first 4 games. Kirk Cousins still recovering to some extent from the injury on short rest. I don't see this being the game where the tempo looks great, where it's dialed up. Over 3.5 field goals total. That's a tough number. That's that's a real tough number. I wouldn't touch that. I think it'll be 3 or 4. So I feel pretty indifferent about that. I could see a game where there's a lot of red zone stops and whatnot, or a lot of stalled out drives that end in a field goal, and that being good. But I would rather take the under than take the over on field goals because if there's 4 field goals, I would say the under's hitting because I don't think it's going to be a result of really quick field goal drives. I think it would be more so okay drives that don't finish in the end zone. Under 4.5 TDs should hit. Do you have anything in the Mets Brewers game? Yeah, we're riding the Mets. I made a video about this on my TikTok, Return of Pick and PD. I'll drop this in the SoBet as well. I dropped this in the free play Telegram. The free play Telegram's in my links, by the way. Definitely recommend hop in the free play Telegram. I drop game in there every single day. I drop my videos in there. I let people know when I'm live streaming. I put out free plays. I put out some long shots. I put out free bonus bets with rebet, things like that. So you should definitely hop in the Telegram. There's stuff coming out every single day in there. It's a great community, great group chat. It's totally free. So definitely get in there. But I like the Mets in this spot. It's not a massive spot. I don't love the Mets. But this year's Rangers. Last year, I took the Rangers to win the World Series, just so you know. I don't think this is like, wow, a hammer spot. This is just a 1 unit play. But I like the Mets to win this game because, one, they're plus 115. If you're taking a money line, which you have to take a money line in this spot, the Mets are plus 115. The Brewers are minus 135. You're definitely getting better value on the Mets. The other thing is, the Mets are throwing Quintana against Myers. Myers is okay. I don't undervalue Myers. I respect his talent, but it's his first ever. It's his first ever MLB playoff start. He's a rookie, and he's in a must-win, a series deciding game. This is a massive spot. It's a really big spot for him. I think that could be tough. He's had some blow up spots, a little bit more that happens to rookies. He's had a good rookie season. He's a good, talented pitcher. He throws the ball well. He's got good stuff. But I like the Mets bats. I like the matchup against Myers. I like the Mets bullpen situation. Diaz didn't throw yesterday. I had the Rangers to win the World Series since June of 2023. I doubled down on that going into the playoffs because they were at plus 1800 when I got them at plus 1200 in June. This year I took the Yankees in March at plus 900, and I'm continuing to ride with that. I sprinkled the Mets for fun. That's not a play I gave out. I just sprinkled them for fun because I'm in New York City. But I'm riding with the Yankees plus 900. That's been my play. We'll talk about that in a second, Jay. But anyway, so I think the Mets are in a good spot to where they should be slightly favored in this game, and you're getting them at plus money. Home field advantage does matter in the MLB playoffs. It's not a massive factor. It's not the NBA or the NFL, but it does matter in the playoffs, and the Brewers have that. I just think the Mets are in a better situation for this game. I like Quintana slightly less than Myers, but I prefer him in this game because it's Myers, a rookie in his first ever playoff start. 2 units, says Tristan. And then I also think the Mets bullpen is in a better spot. They didn't throw Diaz yesterday. He's going to be available for 2 innings. And you know how it goes in the playoffs. If they need to yank Quintana in the sixth, or it's a big high leverage situation, you need to get through this. They throw Diaz for the seventh and the eighth, or the sixth and the seventh, or something like that. They'll do it, and then they'll go to number two. So you've got 1 to 2 innings from one of the best relievers in the game at any point, and you know you're not conserving anything. You're going for it. So I think that favors the Mets, and that's a big part of my read. It's really having Diaz available and having Myers, it being Myers' first playoff start ever. Rashad White under 35 yards. Mm, excuse me. Under in Mets. I am. I'm not taking the under. If I had to choose a side, I would go under, but I don't love it. I'm not taking the under. I am taking the Mets. LG or TD? Sure. LG or TD? Got him on my fantasy team. Wouldn't mind it. Bucky Irving says Isaac. Which player do I like for TNF? What do you mean? Which player do I like for TNF, JC? What are you actually saying? Like, which player do I like for an anytime touchdown for a first TD score? I don't do first TD scores. There's no value in that. Those are lotto tickets. I don't do those. Um, yeah. Which player do I like more, Falcons or Mets? Mets. I think the Falcons have a slightly better chance of hitting, but I'm getting better value on the Mets because the Mets are plus 115 money line. Since I became famous, is it hard to walk the streets unnoticed? I assume you're kidding. I don't get recognized often. If I'm at like a sporting event or something like that, where these sort of people will be, or if I'm at like a very pick a PD type place, like I'm at a sports bar in New York or something like that, I might bump into someone who knows me. Had one dude, I don't know if he's in here. He said he was in the stream all the time. I'm on the subway, and he just stopped and took a selfie with me and fired it off on Snapchat without asking. But no, I mean, I'm not. I don't need bodyguards on me. I don't need bodyguards on me, especially since I can't go live on TikTok, bro. If I was live on TikTok, shit, I need a full live arsenal. Like for a prop, JC. So we have props up in the VIP. There's not like you. If you have more specific questions, we could talk about it. We could talk about it, but I have props up on VIP. We dropped one already. We'll have more coming. Excuse me. Um, but you have to look at more than just like, do I like this person in this spot for a prop? You have to look at the line, understand the line. And are you getting good value on the line? It's not just, you know, will this player have a good game? Will that player have a good game, etc. Like if I were a DGen, which player do I like for props, bro? I would probably take a under on Baker Mayfield passing yards today. So it's who would I not like? Frank, I I would happily say hi to you. I would happily say hi to you. Um, you think Evans or Godwin's TD a better call anytime? I I think Evans is a better call, but I don't know. I don't know the value. I'd have to look at it in terms of value. This is like most people know this, but I just want to reiterate: we're not just looking at a play. Will the play hit? We're looking at the play relative to the value we get. So if someone asked me, what do I like better, the Falcons or the Mets today? I think the Falcons have a better chance of winning today than the Mets, but the Falcons are minus 135 on the money line. The Mets are plus 115. So for the Mets to be a good value play, they need to be hitting 47%. They need to be 47% or more likelihood they win. I think it's better than 47%. For the Falcons, they need to be better than minus 135, probably like 58%. And I think they're better than 58%, but I don't think the gap is big enough for the Falcons to have better value on the money line than the Mets. I think the Mets are probably like 52%, loosely. I don't actually calculate it down to that number, but the Mets are slightly over 50% chance of winning at plus 115, and I think the Falcons around 60-ish percent of winning at minus 135. Absolutely, Frank. I'm gonna, I'll be at the Jets Bills game on Monday Night Football. I'll actually be shooting some interviews in the parking lot and whatnot. So I'll shoot, anyone in New York, anyone who's at that game. I'll be like at a tailgate parking lot type stuff. I'll post on my story and whatnot if people want to come through and do like quick interview type deal. I'll be shooting some of that sort of content. So I do that from time to time. Yeah, miss me over on TikTok too, but I'll be back on. Listen, I've got an account on TikTok called Pick'em PD Streams. I need to get 1,000 followers on that account. I just made it the other day. I need 1,000 followers on that account. Once I get 1,000 followers on that account, I can stream on that. And then when they eventually ban that account, which I'm sure they will at some point, whatever, I'll make a new one. So follow that account, run it up. I shared it in the Telegram. I posted everywhere. Follow that account, get me to 1K. I'll run that up. I'll be live on that for a month. Eventually, they'll probably ban me because they always do that. And then I'll have another backup, and we'll just keep cycling through that. Pick and PD streams 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We'll keep running through that. I'll stay live here on Instagram, live on Twitter, like we always do. But if you really like these streams, you like doing this, just blast the account around. It's a simple proposition. I'm not sharing that around because I need it. I lost an account with 54,000 followers on it, and my other account's got 54K on it. I'm not gonna or 50K on it. I'm not gonna risk losing that one because I keep getting shut down on live streams. So that's it. Um, yeah. So you get it. What do I like for TD? I have a lifetime ban. I don't know how to make a new on our Sparks. What did you do, bro? You do something real bad? Are you the one giving China information? Is that what's going on? Um. Anyway, who do I like for a TD? All right, we could take a gander at what I like for a TD. I will say this though. I don't know how many people are on Rebet. Rebet is an app in my links. You join, you get an immediate $100 bonus bet for joining. So I definitely recommend getting that. I put out some long shots on there, some props. They're totally free on there. But yeah. Cheers, Frank. Have a good one. Everyone thinks they're the only person to have political feelings and that they're all being persecuted for their political leanings. Everyone who cares about anyone. Oh no, I'm with Trump and they're shutting me down because I'm with Trump. Nah, I'm with Kamala and they're shutting me down because I'm with Kamala. Like, listen, we got tens of millions of people that really ride for their candidate and think they're being persecuted for it. And no offense, but they're all losers. Anyway, I'm just kidding. All right. Anyway, so I am going to be locking in some longer shot on the rebet today for that sort of thing. I'll drop it in the Telegram. Check that out. So yeah, we'll have some longer shot player props. But at the end of the day, we're riding with the Falcons. I'm going to determine whether we go money line or -1.5. That'll drop on SoBet. We're riding with the Mets. I'll have a full slate of player props up, and then every single day, get my autograph at the Monday Night Football game. Um, yeah, I mean, I'll have my Venmo on me. If you don't have cash, and we can arrange something. I just don't want too many people to have it. Make the value go down. That's all. Lot of fakes going around. The Raven. Um, Yeah. So the other thing is listen. We've been on here for 20. We've been yapping. We've been all over the place. I just gotta talk to you for a second. Real talk. Lock it. This is what I was saying at the beginning of this. I'll have another play out. I'll have the video out for Monday Night Football. I'll share it in the Telegram. I'll post it here on Instagram. I'll post it on YouTube. All that stuff. You can see it. But the full slate goes up on SoBet every single day. People keep asking me, what is it? It's $10 a month to join. $10 a month. It's a really cheap price. The reason I make it cheap is for a couple of reasons. One, so anybody can join. If you're betting on sports, you have $10 a month to spend to become a better bettor, to be more informed with your betting. Everyone has $10 a month to spend. Shut up. If you're betting on sports, you do. That's a fact. Two, anyone can profit no matter how small their unit size. If you're betting $1 on a game, it's still only 10 unit up for us to be able to make you a profit on the month. That's the other reason why. And the other thing I need to say is people are like, oh, what's the free play? Where's the free play? Can I get a free play? Can I get this? At the end of the day, there are two possibilities. If you're paying 10, 20, even $30, the SoBet is worth it if you're winning. It's not worth it if you're losing. It could be free. You could pay $10, $20, $30, 40, 50, even $100. It is a worthwhile subscription if you're winning, and it's not if you're losing. We win. That's the only question. The question you should be asking isn't what's the price, because it's so cheap. And I told you this before. I used to do $500 a play and have like 3 clients. And now I have thousands of clients, thousands of people that ride with us, and we have a much better community. I want to build a massive, massive, massive community. But the question isn't what's the cost? The question is, do you like the plays? Do you like the research? Do you like the analysis? Do you think that the thought that's going into these plays is going to make your bets more effective and you win more? That's the only question. I would like to think if you're looking at my stuff, if you're listening to what I'm talking about, you've seen the write-ups, you've seen the work that goes into it, you understand, yes, it absolutely is better bets and it makes you more money and it is more profitable, and that's what you should go with. If you're uncertain, that's up to you. But the question isn't, is it worth $10? Obviously, it's worth $10 if you like the plays. It's not if you don't. And that would be the same if it were free or if it were $50. So that's the whole spiel. If you want to get on SoBet, facts. You want to get on SoBet, it's in my links. Get involved right now. We got MLB playoffs all October. We got NFL all season long. College football all season long. NBA props are coming. NBA props are one of our biggest bags of the entire year, especially early on in the season, especially in October, especially during football season. Because during football season, when we bet on other sports on Tuesdays, when the public is chasing, that's when we get the best lines available. It's going to be months until people start catching up. So NBA props are going to be massive throughout October. Definitely now's the best time ever to get on SoBet. That is a simple fact. You should definitely get involved. Go get on SoBet. It's in my links if you want to join. Shoot me a DM here on Instagram or wherever. I posted about it in my story. We got the full slate going up. We got we got some major plays dropping throughout this week. We might have a really big prop for Thursday Night Football, and we're going to be dropping a same game parlay as well. So a lot of action going up today on the SoBet. Lock in. Get involved. Get involved. Let's have a huge day today. All right, gang. Mets on the money line. Falcons. That's what we're riding with today. Full slate goes up on SoBet. Join the free Telegram. Hop on SoBet. You got any questions, shoot me a DM. I'll lock in with you. Follow me on everything. You know the deal. And most importantly,